1.
Ha!
That was so unnecessary.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
You gonna burp on the mic? 5, 4, 3. Can we do a countdown?
Fine.
5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, guys, what's up, and welcome to Random Ass Conversations with Twilla
Lacktoast
and Dion, aka
Lacktoast Entertainment.
Here we talk about some of everything, and unfortunately,
we won't.
What?
Oh, I thought we agreed on not saying any of that. A couple of people always ask. People always ask me when we do these videos, what's in behind us. These are our lanyards that we've done throughout the years.
Different shows, productions.
This right here is a short film that we shot in 2012 with the lovely Danette Wilson and Leo Flowers. I think Cicely Tyson's in it, right?
Cicely definitely made an appearance.
Then we have Angel Baby, which will soon be shot by the squad. And over here is With and Without You, which is now on Amazon Prime.
Also, as well as Caught in the Shadows. So.
What did I say? I didn't say Caught in the Shadows?
No, you said it, but you didn't say it was on Amazon Prime.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Amazon Prime is also the step cousin of Optimus Prime.
Few people know that. So thank you so much for sharing that great news.
Yes. I'm Dion Lack.
And I'm Twilla Ummm.
Also, a lot of people have asked me, also no one has said, why all of a sudden you get to Hollywood, you want to change your name to Dion Lack? Well, for your information, my entire name is Roderick Dion Lacking. I've dropped the Roderick and I dropped the ing. So it's Dion Lack. All right?
For no one who has asked you, can you tell us why you decided to go with Dion Lack instead of Roderick?
The reason why I went with Dion Lack is because everybody besides people at school called me Dion. From work, family, neighborhood, everyone called me Dion. I went with what my mama called me. My mama called me Dion, so I called myself Dion.
Well, there it is.
And when it comes to dropping the ing, it was no disrespect to my family. It was just people just dropped the ing. Yo, Lack. Hey, yo, Lack, get out Lack out here.
Why are you yelling in my ear, though?
Because I don't have earphones on.
Oh, gosh.
So I can yell in your ear.
That don't make sense. So you have shared a lot today.
Yes.
I feel like this is like
Therapy
for you.
This therapy. I'm tired of people asking me these questions.
Well, for all the people that wanted to know, Twilla is my real name. I'm named after my grandmother. A lot of people ask me if that's a nickname.
Twilla?
Yeah.
What would, if Twilla was a nickname, what would the full name be?
Twillandria?
Twillandria.
I don't know. So, but Twilla is it.
It is.
There you go. Yeah, so I am excited because I got a bunch of random stuff for us to talk about.
That makes one of us.
No, you're usually the one with all the randomness in life.
Okay.
Like this podcast, I would like to say was inspired by you.
All right.
Because we'll be talking.
I do have random conversations with Twilla.
Yes. But I'm trying to, keep it a little professional.
I had a question for her off the books that I think I want to ask y'all before I ask this question in my hand. If you were offered $1 million to sit with a straight face like this, and someone is going to tickle you for 10 seconds, do you think you could pass this test? it could have been like your torso, your stomach, your feet.
So
you had to
nervous.
keep the face this whole time. You talking about tick you right now?
No, because I think you edited the question and that's very good.
Oh, you crazy. Oh, the other one, you crazy. No. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That would have been
Oh gosh.
unrated.
No. Yes.
That would have been released the lactose cut.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Yeah. So could you guys do it? Yeah. $1 million if someone said, I'm going to tickle you for 10 seconds. You cannot react to it. You have to keep a straight face. Could you do it?
Easy.
Light work?
Light work.
All right.
What topic do we have today? Do the first side so we know it.
Okay. First side. You know, before we start this, I'm bothered every single day because I'm a cheap person that Twilla prints these out. She will write them out and print them out from our printer, which we're using ink that we're paying for. This is not for an actual game show. Some sort of, we're not contestants.
Y'all, he will buy stuff that shows in his Instagram ads. Nothing that anyone ever needs.
Shut your
The
Instagram
stuff that
ass.
DC Irvin is over there talking about, prove it.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be like, I want it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to find some over here that I'm trying to prove it work. But yeah, you see how she just blew by what I just said. Like, do we really need to print these out?
Yes, Dion, can you not?
This is not a game.
Can you not?
This is not a game show.
It helps randomize
You
it.
can write it down.
Can you not yell in my ear?
Would you rather write this out or print it out? The question is, would you rather? All right. Would you rather have Trump as president, you spelled president wrong, for 20 years if he gives reparations to black people, or would you rather have President Biden if he offers total student loan forgiveness? What? This is a dumb one.
How's it done? What would you go with? I'm sorry, Naya.
Okay. So I blew past 20 years.
President Trump. Nothing's changed other than we get reparations.
See,
President Biden, 2
so
years.
so I hear you. So selfishly, since I already paid my student loan off, shout out to the Doritos commercial. I would have to go with the masses because there's more black people in the world. 20 years
Of Trump.
Well, student loan is including white people too. But I think we deserve reparations because that's generations of problems.
Do you remember what it was like just months ago?
But it was very entertaining.
It was.
Side note.
Oh my gosh.
To put one ear in there. Side note.
I'm trying to monitor your levels.
If Trump wasn't president, he is hilarious. But when it comes to jeopardizing our lives, that's when the problem comes.
Well, see, and I think that's the problem because people were entertained by Trump for
Right.
so long, and he's always been in some position of power. So even before he came into office, he was actually able to practice discriminatory methods in his housing and his employees, and so it's just like. And then he just went to the next level of it. Like,
Yeah.
Racism is always a problem. Trump is problematic. I can't stand him. I don't care if he did give us, like, reparations.
You still want to pick him?
Because I think about the world stage, and I'm like, I probably had, like, anxiety really thinking
Well, how much reparations are we getting? What is the number?
Well, no, I'm even saying, like, think about the possibility of, it's not just America that's impacted, it's other countries. Like, there were other countries that I'm pretty sure was ready to off us because this dude's in office. Like, we became a joke on the international stage. Like, when you travel and people be like, Obama, yay, Trump, boo, and like asking you what's going on in your country. That's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah. So I don't care. My grandma will need this money. Like, not grandma, but like, is it? Does it mean like reparations is never going to happen, or is it like we just got to try another 6 years?
I mean, it might happen. It
Because
just
think
might not
about
happen
it's
when.
way more black people
You know
who needs
you know who student loans really impact?
what?
Black women. Black women are in more debt because we're more educated and we're getting in more debt. And a lot of times we're the heads of our families. And so, like, our families are being hurt by the fact that we bought into the lie where they said, go get educated, get all your education, and get more money.
What is the number? What is the price? What is the check? Is it $10 or is it like
We don't know.
$100,000?
You're just taking a gamble.
A year.
Trump is saying, vote for me. Keep me in
I need a
office
number
for 20 years.
because
you'll get
some people, because it's such a because how much it goes from how much money is Trump giving us, and the person who is like, I got like $1,000 left for my student loans, or somebody's like, I got $450,000 in my student loans. Like, yes, I'll choose that because it's like I don't have student loans, so I don't get nothing.
Well, what reparations do you think would be helpful for us? Like, not just like now I can ball out, but what type of reparations?
I think we should get every black person in the United States $10,000 a year.
A year, just the extra 10,000.
Yep.
That still don't even put us on even playing field. You know what? Like, for a long time, my thing was like, I think we need free and equal education. Like, even starting with our kids.
Hold on, man. Like, $10,000 is ridiculously a lot.
Do you understand, like, on the wealth gap, how far we are behind as a people?
Right, but everybody. Like, yes, if...
So, I'm sorry, I'm thinking single household because I'm single in my
every
household.
black person.
So, $10,000 would be beneficial, but that still doesn't, as a black woman, doesn't necessarily put me equal with my peers. That's not necessarily giving me money to put in my savings. That's not building me up. That's a stimulus check.
But do you want the economy to go broke because you want more?
No, I'm just saying, like, I think we could be, like, as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted.
Go for it.
Is that there's other, like, we should also consider other forms of reparation. Like, what would it look like if we have truly equal education in school systems, in our public school systems where kids are going to school? Like, our kids' education is so different than what's going on in the more wealthy and predominantly white areas. Also, therapy, because the years of trauma that black people have gone through directly tied to being oppressed, poor, like, it's trauma, and trauma also lives in our DNA. So, like, we need therapy, free therapy for everyone. And there's, like, I don't know, like, maybe, like, financial classes. Like, what
financial literacy.
Yeah, like, so what is an actual, a great form of reparations? Mm-hmm. Is it, I also think, like, give people land and the assistance to build a house or buy homes.
Right.
Like,
so, and also, when it comes to reparation, how do you determine who gets it? Like my dad was black, my mom is white. Like,
every black person, because the rule was one drop back in the day.
Well, this is everybody then. Because, I mean, I'm sure it's like my
great
grandmother,
yeah.
my great grandmother was black.
Well, there was a city in Illinois, Evanston, that passed reparations, and they had I don't remember the exact years, but it was like for black people who currently live in Evanston and have lived here, whose families have been here between, and it was a set amount of years, like 1960 something to 2000 something, whatever the years were. You've had to live, you had to have family roots here, and also currently be living there. And they're giving people, like, either land or money to buy homes. So it's And it's a brilliant idea because it's keeping people in the city and keeping them from living, but it's also giving them like that form of wealth in homes that a lot of times we're behind in.
Right.
So like, if the U.S. did something like that, I'd be jacked up. Like my family roots are in Shelby. I don't want to live in Shelby. I like you, but I don't want to live there. So it would be like, well, because my dad's from Africa, and I don't think that we get. Although I think Africans should get reparations too, like from Europe, Britain, Germany, all those people that went to Africa, yanked us from there, and then like just used all the resources without putting back into the economy. They like pillaged the country, the continent, all the different countries, took all the resources and never put money back into Africa. So people think Africa is so poor. In the places that it is poor or governments are jacked up, that was caused by imperialism.
Let me piggyback off of that. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing what happened with Dave Chappelle, when it comes to someone having a contract of saying, hey, I want you to, I don't want to be specifically on what happened with Dave Chappelle, but like if someone had a contract that says, I need you to shoot this movie for me, and you're like, all right, cool, I'll charge $1,000. I'm like, bet. And that movie goes on to make millions of dollars. Like you go and protest, hey, make sure that client, the person who made this film, who hired me, pay me my money. And it's like, why should I pay you when you signed a contract that said you would do it for $1,000? So why people like go outside of like, go out their way to make the person who made them sign it try to reverse the contract? It's like, no, this is what you signed.
Is this parallel to?
No, just this is hypothetically. That's what happened with Dave Chappelle. He signed the contract and it turned out to, well, he didn't really sign the contract. I wanted you to stay on the subject because I didn't want you to be so specific with that. So what happened with Dave Chappelle?
Oh, I was saying, was it parallel with like what happened? Because we're talking about Africa,
right? Well, because there
was no contracts. But go ahead.
Right, it wasn't no contracts.
No, like. People, they came in with guns. Yes. Or it might have been like...
No, I don't know if someone gave me some bad history, but I remember they said something like, you signed a contract, we can own this land for like 99 years.
Yeah, so that's a different... That's way past it, and that's still gross. Like that happened with...
Oil, right?
Some instances, oil or like pineapples, like Dole did some jacked up contract with Kenya.
Right.
So, like, I'm talking about the very initial stance. The very beginning of when imperialism began, it was people coming, like, pretty much like America. There were Native Americans, indigenous people living here, and then people showed up like, hey, this is great. This is good land. I'm going to take this land, and I'm going to push you off. But more so, in early American history, the indigenous people were actually like being killed or dying off from the type of labor that the Europeans were trying to make them do. So they were like, the Europeans were like, hey, guess what? There's a whole country of these people that work hard. They're used to being in the sun. Let's go grab a few of them. And were they working? Like, was there like that one person? There's always that one person that sells you out. There was that one person or that one group of people that sold so many other people out, and they threw people and piled people onto the ships. Have you seen the picture of the ships and the bodies with the stacked bodies? So all those cruelties, ripping people apart, whole families, throwing groups of people who don't even speak the same language into like a ship to be there for months at a time, to die, to waste on themselves, like all that type of stuff. It was horrific. And then you put them in this country and make those people work for you and oppress them. And throughout history, you'd be like, oh, you're only 3/5 of a person, but I'm trying to get more so I can get more of a vote, but you can't really vote. And now to this day, we still don't want you to vote. I'm looking at you with Georgia. But it's like that history is so cruel. Like, there has to be something. And then for years and centuries after that, even when slavery stopped, people were still taking resources. Like, if you study diamonds, and it's like Southern Africa, like how they just took all the diamonds and all these resources.
I'm asking who you think should pay Africa?
All them people, all of Europe, all them countries. Portugal,
not America, right?
Spain, America.
Really?
Yes, because they had slaves. America had slaves.
No, it's so.
Everybody, South America.
Right. Well, I'm asking why you think America should pay Africa, because they profited from our people.
Yes, our people built this entire country for free, and ripped countries apart. Like the beginning, like all of those countries, Western countries, had a hand and played a vital role in, like ripping a countries apart and groups apart. So everybody needs to put their points together.
Only reason why that won't happen is because of white people. They're gonna be like, why should they get all this money?
Well,
it's like imagine if you have 5 siblings. Imagine if all you guys got whoopings, and then you got it the worst, and then they like, since she got since she's bloody, we're going to give her money because we apologize for hitting you harder. They like, no, you hit us all. Why don't you pay us? And the white people's like, yeah, you should definitely pay all of us.
Well, real talk, like every country with non-white people have been like manipulated, used, pillaged by a lot of times Britain, but all those other countries like India has been exploited. The South American countries, the same thing as America. Like all of it, everybody. You're right. Everybody deserves it. Y'all got to figure that one out. We need to go to the UN. The world needs reparations because of what Europeans and white Americans did.
White people are not doing that.
I know it's not gonna happen, but like the cruel history, when you really think about it, like that's
only way it would have happened if it happened immediately afterwards. But now that we're how many years past from slavery?
It's not even that though. It's like, yes, we're past slavery, but still things lingered. Economies were destroyed. I'm just, you know what? I don't want to talk about this anymore.
But are you going to answer my question?
What was your question?
When I asked about when people sign contracts, should they go back on their contract? If I profited from your labor and you signed a contract. I feel like if you knowingly,
so contracts, if you really read contracts, so everybody should read contracts.
Especially with like music.
I'm looking at you, Roderick. Everybody should read contracts fully.
Or hire somebody that reads the contract.
Or hire somebody to read it for you. Because contracts have stuff in there that be like, and this, like, was it the force majeure clause? Basically, in case the universe says differently. Like, there's like, basically, they have airtight things to screw the other person over, pretty much. Like, contracts are to protect parties, but usually it's the party with more interest to lose that is trying to protect. So I do think, like I wish, yeah, like I think a lot of times people exploit people who didn't know better.
Mm-hmm. And what's wrong with that? Not just because if I say, hey, I really like your like if you know I'm doing making commercials. You're really good. Actually, you're doing producing. You're actually a producer. And if the Steven Spielberg, I should say Michael Bay. Michael Bay comes to you and say, "Hey, I want you to produce Transformers 6." And you be like, "Cool. How much you charge?" You be like, "I would charge $50,000." They be like, "Bet. This is gonna give you $3 million."
But I wouldn't even do that. I'd be like, I'm really honored with this. Let me talk to my lawyer.
Right, but what I'm saying, if your lawyer says 50,000,
Yeah.
and they said we're gonna pay you 3 million, and then now all of a sudden he's like, wait, the last producer got 3 million, like would you boycott that because you feel like you got underpaid?
Well, I get underpaid a lot in life.
Okay.
So I think
Answer the
no,
question.
I'm about to calm down. So I was pretty much gonna say, like, if it's my work of art, like if it's something that I created, like I was the writer, or or something like that, I would want to go back because I'll be like, you are still making money off something I got this little one-time fee off of, and yeah, so I would want them to go back.
But it's a contract, though. You understand that, right?
I understand that, and
Right. Because people can screw us, and no, I should say we could, like someone could, break something of ours, and we'd be like, hey, it's in the contract. You have to pay for this. They'd be like, well, you didn't, what's in the contract? You will go to court to say, hey, they can't do anything.
I
just
get the
of the
legality of it.
Right, you're just avoiding. You're just avoiding.
You ask me if it's right.
Like you.
Like, I don't
sometimes
think it's
you.
right.
Sometimes you guys be like, I can't do it. I signed the contract. I messed up. Lesson learned.
I do think I think that's very true and valuable.
Right.
That is true. There is a legality, and so that can be upheld in court. But if your question was
Taraji P. Henson, that happened to her when she did
Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Right.
But that's that's nothing that she owned per se either, though.
She's an actress. She owned her body, her livelihood. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying, like, I'm more so saying if I was coming from it as a writer or the person that created that work, not the person who contributed to that work.
I think on two different subjects. I'm talking about contracts versus
I know,
being underpaid.
And I'm giving
and
you
you're talking about if I have the creative
I'm just
juices.
giving you certain different perspectives, and you know what? Like I said 5 minutes ago, I want to talk about something else. Ooh, that was exhausting.
Random ass conversations.
Yes, it didn't even have to be all of that. That was exhausting. Like, we were talking about Biden, and we started talking about reparations and contracts.
Yeah.
Whew. You want to pull this next one?
I pulled the first one. What do you mean next one?
I don't know what. Well, then you present the company.
Can you tell people what the T stands for?
Twilla. They ain't dummies.
I thought it meant T.
Y'all, I'm sorry you have to deal with this as I'm dealing with it.
Oh, you gonna deal with this?
All
this
right.
Is, our shirts. Final cut over everything. Final cut over here. That's all. Go ahead. I was wasting time as you read your.
Thank you so much.
Hey man, these are ads.
I enjoy hosting with you. The shirt's dope. You did a good job on designing it.
You want to talk about that?
No, I want to talk about what's in my hand right now.
Go for it.
So the next topic is current events. So, if y'all don't know, California is open on June 15th. Governor Newsom, yes.
Okay.
Governor Newsom said, pending all vaccinations and stuff, we'll be back open. And so the question here is,
release the other COVID. Oh, what?
Are you going to go back to normal? Like, everything is open.
Anybody.
You still have to wear a mask.
Right. YOLO folks is doing it now. Am I going back to normal? It's hard. It's like it's hard to not eat meat for a year, and all of a sudden it's like it's time to go back to meat, and it's like I'm kind of scared. I don't know what's gonna happen to my body. It's like my body's gonna flip upside down. But you have to the economy needs you. So it's tough because you don't want to be an example. You feel like I told you gotta wait another month. That's them. They said wait. They said June 18th. And now you're like, what variance is this? You got that new stuff.
If you're fully vaccinated and you're wearing masks, Your girls want to go to the movies because the movies are back open. Are you in there?
I'm in there not eating popcorn. I'm not taking my mask off.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I thought about this yesterday when like my friends and we got our Earth, Wind and Fire tickets. Yes. Mm-hmm. And then after we purchased it, I was like, hey, this is June 19th. Are there seats in between?
Yeah,
How is this working? It's an outdoor stadium, but still, it's like...
You guys are definitely going to feel the earth shake, the wind of people's breath, and the fire in your body.
Listen,
of somebody.
I already know, like, I know me, like, if I am uncomfortable that day, I will leave, and I would have just lost money.
Yep. Your eyes gonna be red, like, I'm having the time of my life. Nose bleeding, like, I love this. Like, reasons why I'm here.
No, I just, because, like, when you walk past somebody, especially in those, like, when those early days of COVID, when you, like, walk past somebody, you just hold your breath.
That's funny. You ever look at somebody and like, they definitely got it. Have you ever thought to yourself or asked, like, who do I know who has an STD? Who do I know walking like every day? You be like, he might have syphilis. Like, imagine how many people you walk by that you like, somebody around here got gonorrhea, chlamydia, herpes.
I can honestly say I've never thought about that.
Yeah, it's not it's not extinct. Like, imagine the person at Subway talking about you want some jalapeno cheddar. You like?
I mean, I guess I'm just not trying to sleep with everybody I see. So
no, it's not about sleeping with them. It's just like how people have COVID. You be like, who has COVID? Like, imagine somebody, there's a sickness inside of somebody that you haven't even, like, you're not making it known to them. So you just imagine, like, how many people who's carrying something that you be like, man, I didn't even know he was walking around here itching. He was walking around here discharging.
Yeah. So you do that often, huh?
I mean, if the person gives me all stereotypes, I would definitely like, he has something.
Oh my god!
Like the people that come in, like when it comes to COVID, when people come in really hot, like open hugs, is like there's a strong chance this person has something.
Like come in, enter, didn't wash
raw
their
face,
hands, no mask on,
licking fingers. Give me a hug.
Oh my gosh! I saw this little kid, cute as can be, out in public, licking a puddle of water. This was 2 weeks ago, and the kid was just like,
and mom was like, oh, he's so adorable.
All I could think is like, first of all, gross. Kids are gross. But also just like, mom did not snatch him up. You
had me at, I seen a kid licking. Stop right there. Anything is a problem.
It was on the ground. Cutest little baby. Just.
I hope a puddle's on the ground. Where's a puddle's gonna be? On a
like
wall?
A countertop? I don't know.
That's a fact.
Gosh. You get my nerves sometimes. But I'm glad we're doing this.
That makes one of us. All right. Let's see what we got. All right. Next one is, but is it fair?
Let's talk about it.
Twilla know what this is.
Yes, because
you read it. I mean, you wrote it. You printed it out. You wasted our ink for this. I'm going to keep reminding.
This is your topic, though. So
I'm going to keep reminding her that she printed this out. Cut it up.
Dion, sometimes I just really want, like, support.
Should the security guards have been fired for...
Butthole.
Should the security guards have been fired for not helping the woman who was attacked right outside the building? For those who don't know.
Yeah.
Tell them what happened.
You were giving the context. Anyway, I got this story from Dion. A few weeks ago, there was an attack of our older elderly Asian woman in front of this building, and as she was being attacked, the security guard and the doorman kind of just like did.
Kind of.
They absolutely didn't. I think the doorman came in and closed the door, I believe, and the security guard came in afterwards and didn't do anything to help this woman. So recently they have been fired. And the question is that fair?
I say, morally, they should have done something.
Yeah.
Because you see someone being attacked. But as the security guard of a building, I think they did the right thing. Because I'm sure the building of any establishment, if you outside the building, they're not going to cover what if you got stabbed. What if it was a diversion? What if it was like, hey, we're gonna fake an attack outside. The security guard's gonna run outside to help you, and then we run in, and then we rob the building, and the security guard is tending outside, and then now the building person was like, "What? Where were you at?" It was like it was a fight outside. No, you were supposed to secure the building.
See, so my thing is like I don't know the rules. Like I don't know the perimeters. I don't know if it was like if that particular building was like, and you know, like how there's protect this building and everything that's like 15 feet within, or you know, like I don't know what the rules are, but if it was clearly in their jurisdiction,
right?
Or you know, like, and I'm pretty sure the people who live in that building or are a part of that building probably felt a way. It's like our security guard did nothing.
He do nothing.
Does he secure us? Like, am I safe?
But a doorman is a doorman. He's supposed to open up the door. In this case, he closed the door. He did his job. I think the world put pressure on them. Like if it was a petition, like fire the security guard, fire the doorman,
Yeah.
fire, and they had to fire him. They're like, yo, we did our job, man.
I don't know if they did their job. Like you're saying, that could be a possibility where it's like only on the inside you guard and you do this, you protect the people in this building. If that's the rule, then okay, you're not upholding them to any rule, and that's not fair.
Do you think they have a case if they sue the building?
I don't know their rules or their job description.
Yeah.
Like if it was in their job description and then it's like, well, I wasn't about to get in it. Then
so
let's
for the sake of a good story, if securing the inside of the building to secure the inside of the building was in their contract only, and the building fired them.
Oh yeah, then there's a case.
They have a case.
Yeah.
But I think the world is going to crucify them because they didn't do anything.
I mean, I'm sure, like, if they got fired and it was outside of what their job actually is, I'm sure they got a nice little severance or whatever on top of that.
From getting fired?
Yeah. I mean, it might not be nice, but it's a little severance, a little something.
But I think if they did help, they will be heroes.
Yeah.
Because it was televised. They will be on, I'm about to say Sally Jesse Raphael. She ain't been on the network. You know what?
I barely remember that show.
I'm staying on it. She would be on Ricky Lake, Sally Jesse Raphael, Phil, Geraldo. What's his last name?
Geraldo Rivera.
Oh, I don't know why I said his name twice.
Because you're thinking of Waldo, Faldo, Geraldo.
There it is.
Yeah. From Family Matters.
Yeah, they would have book deals. They'd be all over the place.
Yeah, and that's kind of telling. I mean, that's where we are as a society in general. I know, we've seen people in need. People see people in need all the time and walk past them. But you would hope that in a case like that where it's like life or death, that Maybe.
You as a citizen, would you have done something? Not even security guard.
I clearly said we as people walk by people all the time. I would hope that I would be that person to jump in. But I also see myself, if I'm not the person to jump in, I definitely hear myself yelling, stop, help them, get off her. Because I've definitely done that before. Like, get off her, leave her alone.
I would have hit him with a yo.
And
yo.
I would have called police or something. Definitely.
Yeah. I would have definitely, I would have did the rush. Yo!
Yeah.
If he didn't scare you off, I'd be like, okay, you about that life. And I close the door back.
So that's probably what the doorman did?
No, they backed up.
Oh, they didn't even
They was
yell?
like, this is about to escalate higher.
Oh, no.
They had that look like, oh, this is about to get bad.
Oh,
Maybe she did something. What? Hold on. I got another scenario. What if she had robbed him and he chased her down got his wallet back and was like, you ever steal from me?
I mean, she's an old woman. That's a bad look. That's a bad look, bro.
Right, but he did. He got his wallet back, and then he was hitting her, and the security guard was like, "Yo," he's like, "Don't she just rob me?" And they attacked him, and he's like, "Yo, I'm the victim here. I just got my money back."
In any case where you come from an old person, whether they rob you or not, you look like a jerk. It's period, point blank.
If that was her disguise, yo.
What movie you watching?
Since she okay. Obviously, you're not a part of this scenario. Trying to find a way out of it. Next question.
I was gonna do a next question, but
Okay.
I had a thought.
Okay, go for your thought.
Well, the thought is in this. It might be in the next question, so let's just go for it. This is another current event. This is gonna get heavy. Do you think Derek Chauvin is going to jail? Have you been keeping up with the
I have been
case?
keeping up. They are painting him into a corner now. Well, the witnesses and the lawyers are definitely painting him into a corner. They're trying their best to pin drugs on him. It's like, dude, stop trying to dig in.
Floyd?
On George Floyd, yeah.
It's so ridiculous. So I think I've purposely, for my mental health, has not been following this case as closely, just because it's so much, and it's crazy that we're actually having a trial on this as a murder case because we all saw it on camera, right? We know that you killed him, and to have a doctor say like he died of
exfoliation.
Asphyxiation.
Exfoliation.
And to have like a police chief be like, yeah, that's nothing that we train people with. He acted outside of what we're supposed to do. Like, that's damning evidence right there. But the thing is, I really don't know if that's enough to get this man in jail. We saw it, but we saw it happen. We saw this man's life being taken. We saw that the force was excessive. I don't really understand what's on trial, and I guess they're trying to prove intent and all that stuff, but it's
too much evidence against him, and it's like, I don't know why we're stretching this out. I don't know if there's more money involved, because if you stretch it out long enough, the lawyers get more money. It's a script.
It's because it's a police. I really think, because think about how many times, the few times that these cases go to trial in the first place this is very rare. But when it goes to trial, how often they get off. Mm-hmm. And because
lawyers and police are working together.
Yeah. And so it's just like, this should not be one of those. It should never be that instance, or I wouldn't say ever, but we shouldn't feel like this man isn't going to jail. But I really just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't go to jail, this country's gonna get burnt down.
That's probably why they're trying to hurry up and open the country because they're like, oh, we need to make sure these people working.
Yeah,
Y'all remember what happened when they had nothing but time on their hands?
That's funny.
They set it on fire.
Yeah, it's gonna be a grand opening, grand closing. Like we've solved the case. June 19th. People like grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah. So I can't follow it, but I do know that I believe he is guilty.
It's looking good. It's looking good for him to go to jail.
Yeah. Well, bye.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I have a thought. I'm a Tar Heel, born and raised, go Heels. And in this past week, our head coach, Roy, recently retired. And it was announced our first black head coach.
Yay!
Hubert Davis. And I was rooting for the man.
Until what?
Until he did a press conference. You know, you go out and you're saying, you know, I understand that as a African American, as a black man, this is a first. You know, in our school, there's only been 4 black head coaches of any sports.
Wow.
And I'm the first in the basketball. And you know, UNC basketball, that's a legacy right there. And he played UNC basketball. He's a Tar Heel, you know. And then he made all these grand, beautiful statements. And he said, and I'm also proud to have a white wife. Lord Jesus.
Could have kept that quiet.
Nobody asked you.
Yeah.
Why?
I think the problem is media. People talk about it. You know, you keep saying, hey, he's the first black first of 4 black people. And then somebody look it up like, but he got a white wife though. And then now that's a part of the discussion. They say stuff like, hey, what's his name?
Hubert Davis.
Hey, Hubert Davis. What do you say when people say that you have a white wife being the first black? He's like, man, what does that have to do with anything?
He should have just waited for the question to come because it felt like he went out of his way to deny a black woman. Like,
it was coming.
I am proud to have a white wife. Like, nobody asked you. Like, when somebody asked you, you could have said, and you know, like, I love that I have a beautifully blended family and my kids are biracial. But to be like,
she's probably in the press with him, and he was like,
no, he was sitting there by himself.
He was like, "Got you, baby, got you."
And it's also I can't give him a pass because it feels like so often having a non-black wife to black men. I'm not a black man, but I'm a black woman, so I can tell you what it feels like. Is a prize. It is a prize. And I believe in interracial love. I believe you love who you love, period, point blank. But when you go out your way to be like, to date anyone but a black woman, or to, like, you didn't have to step on a black woman to make your point. Like, we were all proud of you. We knew you had a white wife. You did not have to go out your way. Like, we were proud of this day. Like, I promise you, my timeline was like, Coach Davis, we were all rooting for you.
Right.
Or just shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up. Like that. Or
but what if so you be Hubert Davis, okay? And they say someone's asking you about how does it feel being the first black UNC head coach?
You know, it's amazing. I played for this team. I have a long history, and I know being in the South, this is instrumental. This is historical, and I definitely wear it as a badge of honor, and I'm excited that I get to represent this moment.
Right. Is there a reason why you don't have a black wife?
Now listen, I love black women. My mama's black. My grandmama's black. My sister's black. But, you know, I fell in love with who I fell in love with. And she's an amazing woman who just so happens to be white. And, you know, like, love has no color.
But what about that white wife, though?
Again, love has no color, my brother.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it's simple media training.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I think if that was in the news, if they kept asking him about his wife, I think that was his like, all right, I'm sick of this. And then probably his white wife is like, yo, can you defend me? Like, are you not happy who I am?
Listen, maybe UNC should give him more, but it's not like his first time. He's a coach. He was an assistant coach. Like, it's not his first time in front of media. So it really just felt like he went out of his way to be like, excuse you, F you, white woman. Like, it's just like, you didn't have to do that. Like, we already deal with enough in society. We deal with enough, like, comparing ourselves, like, women in general. But, like, I didn't need you to add that layer today. Like, nobody asked for that.
Yeah. I'm fine. I think it was built up from that. I never heard of the guy before.
It's because you don't follow college basketball.
I don't follow college at all. I didn't even go to I did go to college.
College basketball. Now, listen, I haven't followed basketball in a long time. My emotions get really into it when I follow college sports, especially when it's my team. My blood pressure goes up. My heart's racing, especially when we're into, like, you know, a close game. So I had to my body stop. But those kids are more passionate, I think, than people in the, like, pro league, because they have
it could be it.
Yeah.
This could be it.
And they're trying to get seen.
Right.
And so I love it.
As a consumer of sports, I look at college sports like fast food. It's like, it's entertaining, but I know it's not good for me. It won't last long. Like, I feel like a lot of these players in college won't make it to the league. So it's like, I can't be invested into them because it's like, damn, he was really good, man. What happened to him? Kroger's. Yeah. He works at Kroger's now? He's an assistant coach for who? Chuck E. Cheese. They got a basketball team? I don't. So it's like, in my head, I was like, I'll wait till they get to the league for me to invest in them. And then if I have time, I'll be like, let's see how good he was in college. It's like, okay, that's what's up. He was pretty good.
For me, it's reversed, because, like, when I watch, like, now, when you follow college sports and you don't follow pro, you be like, oh, man, I remember when I used to play for it. Didn't that boy play for it?
Sometimes people don't go to college.
Yeah.
Like, like, NBA is like a hybrid.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, D-League, overseas. Like, it's way too many people coming from different areas.
But a lot of times, even those D-League or overseas people were in college and had to go before. So sometimes they come back around.
That's like whoa. All right.
Whoa.
It is.
Yeah, man. I had so many other things I thought we were going to talk about. No.
Go for it.
I mean, we can wait.
We'll do a bonus episode.
A bonus episode.
We can switch shirts, and then people think we're
just snap.
We think it was a different episode. Like, wait, wasn't he?
And then you wear this shirt?
Yeah. I will. I don't want my belly button seen because you got a low cut shirt.
First of all, it's not that low, sir.
It's low cut.
Whatever.
After Easter, low cut shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, you know what? I'm going to table some of the ones that I really wanted to talk about for our next episode.
It will be expired by then.
No, it won't.
You want to talk about?
What I want to talk about?
Gas prices at the price of, I don't know, got nothing.
Good.
All right.
All right. So thank you all so much for joining us this week on Random Ass Conversations with Twilla and Dion.
I think it should be called Random Ass Conversations with Twilla because Dion is not a part of this.
What are you trying to say?
It's because this is your show featuring Dion.
You know what somebody once told me about our early episodes?
What?
It was like, wow, like, did you have to drag Dion to be on there? Did you have to get your super famous fiend?
Really?
Did you
fiend?
Super famous friend on there? Did you have to ask for a favor?
They really said that?
No.
because I think when I'm talking with Twills, she's not listening to me. She's thinking of what else to say.
No, that's you. That is 100% you.
She's thinking of what else to say.
I always hear
this is when the camera's involved. She's like this.
I always hear
what else to
you.
say.
No,
She's not engaging.
that's not
with
fair.
Me. It's very fair.
No, because I'd be showing a perspective, and you'd be like, "You're not hearing me." I'm like, "But we're talking about the same thing."
But when I asked you a question, you still didn't answer the question twice.
I answered it. Maybe not to your satisfaction, but it was answered.
Okay.
So
All right.
you were only looking for like what you wanted to hear.
No, I wanted to. I wanted. When I ask questions, it's typically ooh, this is hard to ask. You be like, then you'll take what I said and then find like a loophole to not answer it, but then stick with that loophole. And now like, that ain't my question.
But it's
anymore.
not to answer it. It's I just found another perspective. It's also called conversation.
I hate your face.
Okay, and
And I don't like this shirt you have on right now.
told you said that.
I only said that because she said
You said that in real life.
I did not say that. I don't even know why would I say that. I love flowers. I don't know why would I say I don't like that shirt. She came in today and said, I got that shirt on you don't like. I said, when did I say that?
Maybe we need a therapist to talk.
I need a therapist.
Yeah, you do.
Did y'all know that therapists?
No, we're not doing this.
All right.
I felt like something wrong was coming.
All right. This is why it's called Random Ass Conversations with Twilla, featuring Dion, because
I guess I might need a new co-host because Dion doesn't want to do this with me.
Because she's not allowing me to be Dion. I am constantly being monitored. Because you think that my random ass is going to be random in the conversation.
I said right here that unfortunately nothing's off limits. And then you said, no, it's not. We didn't
Well,
discuss
you
that.
literally said, uh-oh.
Yes. That didn't mean you couldn't say it.
Here it comes. I don't want to be part of this. I don't like being on a chain, you know?
You're not on the chain.
I'm about to be shirtless in a second. I gotta find a thumbnail when we post the video. You'll see Dion shirtless.
I'm sad that we had to keep all this conversation because I don't want to cut it in post.
You're editing it, so you can't cut this.
Because I don't want to.
Well,
all right. Can you focus so we could do
our
our outro?
Let's do the outro.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.
You have the piece of paper too.
Okay. I gotta read it.
No, you don't have to read it. I just wanted you to know what was going on.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you for joining us today. I'm Twilla Amin.
I'm Dion Lack.
Be sure to follow us.
At.
And
Oh, you already did it. You're gonna do it.
It's gonna be right there, lower third.
Okay.
So be sure to follow us right there.
Mm-hmm. And Lactose.
And at Lacktoast ENT. And while you're at it,
YouTube.
yes.
And Facebook.
Be sure to like and subscribe to us.
And comment.
Yes. We want to hear from you people.
That makes one of us.
We want to hear from you people so that we can contribute to our conversations.
Hopefully by the time this airs, we are at 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, help us.
We have been helping other people build their channels for 10 plus years, and we haven't gotten 1,000 subscribers because we're constantly working on other people's projects. So now it's our time to finally flourish.